Hello and welcome to the next video for November in our theme of coaching others. In the first video earlier in this month, we looked at a few things as in what coaching is and isn't, because there's a number of different approaches and all have their time, their place, but it's the understanding of knowing which tools to use, when and how. Now, today we're going to lean into a little bit more about tips for you as a manager, leader, and how you can really bring this out as the best for yourself and your team and your company. What's interesting is that quite often the coaching approach, if you're under the pump, if you're really busy, having to stop and revisit things and really take time to pause and listen and slow down can seem like you're going backwards. It can seem like the softer approach. And it's also, if you're not in the habit of operating that way, just even that mindset shift can be a big one. But here's the thing. Knowing those barriers for yourself, as in you're probably under the pump yourself, you're under pressure, you've got deadlines to meet, you need your team to meet deadlines. If you've only been working on more of a telling, instructional way, you're there people just need to get their tasks done. That's what they're there for, right? It's not that simple. There's so much more that you can achieve, that your team can achieve by adapting to a coaching style. And within the text in this post, there's a number of stats that back this up. This is researched, it is proven. So it is worth slowing down and taking the time to see how you can approach things differently to get a different outcome. Now, just a few tips for you on coaching others, because it is a skill, it's an art, and it's an incredible experience to be able to deliver and empower another person. So things to really take on board is expectations. You may have been commonly used to setting expectations about what is needed to achieve in the role, their targets, deadlines, everything that needs to be met. However, that's everything coming from your side. Setting expectations, you also need to gain the commitment back from your team, the people within it, because that's what creates the self-ownership, the responsibility, the accountability, the action. By actually asking the people within your team, what expectations do you set for yourself? It allows it to come from them. And that's when people truly absorb it. Now, the other point is creating a culture of growth. Is it an environment where people can think differently, where they can bring ideas to you, when they're not worried about the response if we're short on time? It's being able to lean into the attitude of bringing suggestions to the party, looking at doing things better, looking at being able to collaborate, and very much an open environment that encourages the growth and learning. Listening. We talk about active listening so much, but it's the ability to be there, wholly present, to absorb what is really being said, to pay attention to the words used, the nuances like the non-verbals or the body language, to listen to what is behind those words, listen to what someone wants to achieve, what they're currently experiencing, and to really take that on board. Transparency. Be really open. If this is new for you and if this is completely out of your style, say it. Say, look, I've been working this way. This is what I'm more comfortable with, but I really want to adjust and try something a bit new to see how much better it can be for you, to see what more we can achieve as a team, and what you can achieve as an individual. Be open with it. You don't need to hide and then try and move along to a different way, and then all of a sudden people are going, well, this is different. Be upfront. That also demonstrates, where we spoke about creating a culture of growth, you are leading by example by doing that. Now, the other things to consider is also, we've gone through the listening, we've gone through the expectations, we've gone through the transparency, but it's also feedback. Not just you giving feedback, it's you being able to receive feedback from your team. What are you saying? How are you communicating? How is it being received by them? This is really important, but also your peers, your seniors. Get the feedback from others on how you operate, because this is where you're going to find those growth areas for yourself as a coach. Knowing your team. This is so valuable. What does your team, the people in it, what do they want to achieve? Where do they want to grow? What more could they be doing? Now, it's proven when you start looking into this that it allows people to very much have that vision of where they're going, because if you do not have a direction, if you don't have a clear sight, an end point, how do you know if you're on the right track to get there? How do you know if you're going on track? All right, now questions. There are two parts to this. Firstly, it's learning how to ask great questions. Ones that very much inspire thought, allow the person to look deeper, to reflect, to see past current blocks. That's one part. The second is to learn to ask the question and stop. Because quite often, as people, we're not always comfortable with silence. We feel the need to fill the gap. By filling it, you're taking away that space that you've created for someone else to lean into, to answer, to think, to explore. When you fill it, you take that away from them. Ask the question and stop. The power of the pause. Once you get comfortable, you'll start to see just how beneficial this is in multiple other areas as well. So I hope this has helped on the Coaching Others. Now, it's an art. It's something that you continually will grow in. And it also allows you to very much develop your communication as well in multiple areas, to very much consider how you come across and how you can empower the best in others. If this is something that you want to grow in, something that you'd also like to work in with me, then obviously reach out. I'd love to have a chat with you, see what we can create for you, for your team and your company. Have an amazing day.